This is Holly with Seeking Sela Yoga. Today we're going to move through a 20-minute flow that focuses on all the major muscle groups, and we are going to focus our minds on the idea of new beginnings. So the inspiration for this came from Ecclesiastes 3, and it says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." So we'll delve into that a little bit more. We'll also touch on Isaiah 43. So let's get started. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, let me know, and of course, subscribe. Thanks so much.
Let's start sitting cross-legged on your mat. To make this more comfortable, you're welcome to place a block under the sit bones. And we want to find a tall posture. We're going to focus in on the breath and add in a gentle twist. So if you appreciate symbolicism, envision this motion as a chance to twist out the old and ring in the new. So inhale the arms overhead, firm up your tummy, and as you exhale, twist to your right. So the left hand finds your right knee and send your gaze over that right shoulder. On your inhale here, turn the head slightly towards midline, and then on the exhale, see if you can deepen this twist. We'll do that several times. Coming out by bringing the head towards midline, and on your exhale, twisting and sending your gaze over the shoulder. Okay, on your next inhale, come out of the pose, taking the arms back overhead and exhaling to the other side. So this time the right hand finds the left knee and your left fingertips find the mat behind you. And your gaze, send your gaze over that left shoulder. And on your inhales, return your head to that midline. And then on your exhale, go into that twist. Let's return to center and take the legs out in front of you. Go ahead and shake the legs just a little bit here. We're going to find head to knee pose. So let's take that figure 4 by bringing your left leg to the inside of the right thigh. Sit up nice and tall, inhaling those arms overhead, and on your exhale, fold forward from the hips. So your hands can rest at the knee, the shin, or your foot. Just really listen to your body here. You don't need to force yourself into a deep stretch. We're just waking up the body. And we'll be here for several breaths. Relaxing into the pose with each exhalation. So our verse says that there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. So oftentimes new beginnings, they're not necessarily our own choices. Sometimes it's a result of somebody else's choice that force us into a new beginning. And so we can view those outcomes in different ways. Maybe someone stepped down from their position at work, which allowed you to be promoted. Or perhaps someone ended a relationship and maybe the other person didn't want that or wasn't ready for it. Let's go ahead and switch our stretch to the other side. So go ahead and inhale those arms overhead again, resetting your posture, and bring the right foot in to the left thigh and hinge forward. And this side might feel different, so just honor that today and relax into the stretch. Let the head, soften the muscles of the neck supporting your head. So sometimes our plans just get messed up. Some things we'll never be ready for, but we are not alone. God is with us and He is for us. And even when we don't understand and we can't see what the future holds, we can trust that ultimately good things will blossom in our lives. Let's come out of this pose. We're going to work the abs and boat pose today. So find your tall posture and take the arms and legs out in front of you and roll back onto your sacrum. You're welcome to keep the knees bent with your shins parallel to the floor, and your hands can come behind the thighs for support, or you can hold them out straight. You can also take the legs out straight in this pose. So we're going to hold this for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and lower down. Okay, we'll come back into this and do that again. So either holding on to the backs of the thighs or legs coming out straight. Here we go for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll come out of the pose. This time, let's take a loose double pigeon with that right foot in front and walk the hands forward, relaxing your muscles in this pose. So friends, if you're in a season of sadness, weeping, or mourning, know that your season for laughter and dancing will come. The Bible tells us this, that there is a time for all the seasons of our lives. So let's come back up. We're going to take boat pose once again, and with whatever variation you would like. We're going to hold for that count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and lower down. We'll do that one more time. Come back up into it. 1, 2, 3. And lower down into a loose double pigeon with the left foot in front this time. And walk those hands forward. Relax into this pose. Notice how that feels in your hips. So in Isaiah 43, God says, "Do not be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I have called you by name, you are mine. And when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. And when you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. And when you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. For I am the Lord, your God, the one of Israel, your Savior." I think that is just such a powerful verse. When you go through deep waters, God will be with you. Okay, let's roll to the back, and we're going to find bridge pose. So bend the knees, keep the knee over the ankle, the knees about hip distance apart. And on your inhale, lift your hips high. You can tuck the shoulder blades under. Maybe you want to grasp your hands here, or you're welcome to just reach your fingertips towards the heels. This is a heart-opening pose. So a breath prayer to use here may be inhaling, "Lord, my Savior," and then exhaling, "Guide my heart." Let's lower back down with control. And when you're ready, press back up. You can really feel this pose out. Notice if you can feel a stretch across the front of the chest here. Using our breath prayer once again. Inhale, "Lord, my Savior." Exhale, "Guide my heart." Let's lower back to the ground. You can reach those arms overhead and straighten the legs, pointing through the toes. Just getting a nice stretch here. Then we'll bring the right knee into the chest, and we'll take a crossbody twist here. So with the left hand on that right knee, send your knee towards the ground and take your gaze over the right shoulder and bring that right arm out straight. It's okay to take this pose gently. You don't need to aggressively like force that knee to the ground or try to pin that shoulder down. Really just listen to your body. This should feel good. And come back to center and hug that left knee into the chest. This time, taking the right hand to the left knee, bringing the left hand towards the ground, and then sending your gaze and the left arm out. And take a nice breath in here and let it go whenever you're ready. I'll do one more breath in. Okay, relax back to the mat. You can hug both knees into the chest. We're going to just rock while we're here. You can rock side to side, really rocking front to back and massage out that spine a little bit. You can get some momentum and then come up into a seated position, and we'll take bound ankle pose. So we'll take the knees out wide with the soles of the feet coming together. You can begin to engage your core, lifting up through the torso. Really press your chest forward, allowing your spine to lengthen. And we'll be here for just a few breaths. You're welcome to just listen to your body here, or you can incorporate our breath prayer, inhaling, Lord, my Savior, and exhaling, guide my heart. Let's transition to tabletop. We'll spend just a few moments taking cat and cow spine. So to inhale to inhale to cow by dropping the chest and lifting the gaze. And then exhaling to cat by rounding the spine and dropping the head in. So you can do this at your own pace, remembering to inhale to cow pose as you lift your head, and exhaling to cat pose as you drop your head in. You can move really slowly through the spine here. See if you can isolate each little vertebrae in the back. You can find stillness here, and then let's take some hip circles. It doesn't matter what direction you go. You can take small circles, or you can take nice big circles. Let's switch direction of those circles, going the other way now. Find stillness, and we will press back to our downward dog. So you can take this nice and slow, bend into one leg, straighten the other, pedaling the feet here. Pressing through all points of your fingers. When you do that, it helps take some of that weight out of your wrists. You can spin those inner elbows to be facing forward, plugging your shoulders in while you're here. And now we'll take our three-legged dog, lifting the right leg up and behind you. Noting this is our closed hip posture, and I want you to really focus in on how you are turning your hips, stacking your hips to bend the leg and make this an open hip posture. So bend that knee, send your gaze under the left arm, and go ahead and circle the foot while you're here. Notice where you're feeling this stretch. Then we'll take the right foot, between the hands, we're actually going to find half pigeon. So bring that right leg down in front of you. And there's a couple variations you can take. You can come all the way down to the forearms, or you can stay upright but keeping the arms straight. And then you're even invited to open the chest by using the left arm to grab the inside of the left foot, sending your gaze over the left shoulder and firming up your abs while you're here. Wherever you're at, let's take a moment to focus back in on our breath. Take several calming breaths here. To come out of this pose, both hands find the mat. Tuck the back toes and press into your three-legged dog by swinging that right foot up and behind you. And then that foot will find the mat as you return to down dog. Now the left leg will lift. And as you bend the knee, stack your hips, really noticing how you're moving from a closed hip posture to that open hip posture. Send your gaze under the right arm and circle the foot. We'll take half pigeon on the left now. So bringing that left foot down to the ground between the hands. You can take whatever variation you'd like by either coming down to the forearms, staying upright with the arms straight, or by twisting and grasping the inside of the right foot with the right hand. So remember, you can firm up those abs here, keep your length through the spine, and gaze over the right shoulder. We'll come out of this pose by pressing back to our three-legged dog with the left leg high. And then that left leg will return to the mat for our downward dog. Roll your weight forward to come into plank pose. You can modify this pose if you'd like by dropping the knees to the mat. Keep your wrists under the shoulders and press into all your fingertips. We're going to hold this for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down to the ground with control. Rest your forehead here for a moment. See if you can listen to the sound of your breathing. Maybe you can even notice your heartbeat here. We're going to press back up to our plank pose and hold for another count of 5. So whichever variation you'd like to take here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower back down again. You've done a beautiful job in this practice, and we're almost done. From here, we'll lift everything up for cobra. So roll the shoulders back, palms face the floor. Lift the head, the neck, your chin, get the legs up. This is just an excellent pose to counter all of the slouching we do throughout the day, activities that, we do at the front of the body. Lower back down to the ground and rest a cheek. Take a breath in here, and when you're ready, we'll press back up and take cobra one more time. Okay, great job. Let's find child's pose. So we'll take those feet together with the knees out wide. Your arms will come straight overhead. We'll slower breathing here. We can walk the hands in as we press back up, and we'll find hero's pose by sitting back on the heels, taking a tall posture. You're welcome to grab a block if you'd like to use that to place under the sit bones here. We're going to wrap up our flow with some breath work, and then we'll take our Selah. So we're going to do a simple breathing pattern just to calm the nervous system, where we breathe in the nose for a count of 3, we hold for a count of 4, and then we exhale for a count of 5. So 3, 4, 5 are the number patterns. So I'll walk you through it at first, and then I'll give you time to practice on your own. So we'll breathe in 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that one more time together. So breathe in 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go ahead and do that on your own, or breathe however is naturally for you if that's what feels best in this moment. All right. Let's come to lie on the back in a comfortable resting position. You can let the eyes be closed. Relax the muscles of the face. Let the body be heavy. Feel yourself being supported by the ground beneath you. Let's Selah. We're going to rest here, reflect, and respond to our message today. That there is a time for everything under the heavens. That our seasons of happiness and life circumstances ebb and flow, and that through it all, we do not need to be afraid. So I encourage you to turn your heart and thoughts to God and trust that when you go through deep waters, He will be with you. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.